Never forget there are levels in spirituality. Never forget there are levels in capacity and understanding. We serve a God who is shrouded in mystery. There are places in God that you can go so dark and so deep that you have to be careful of what you even share to the masses. Now, prophetic people understand this. Pastors even understand that there are teachings that you cannot dare begin to share in public because people are not able. They're not at the spiritual level or maturity to receive such meat. But there's a place and a space for it. So you have to be wise in what you teach. Listen, especially my prophets and prophetic people, you have to use wisdom. Everything you cannot put on a public platform, because trust and believe, before it's all said and done, you'll have so-called believers who lack understanding calling you a witch or warlock for what they cannot perceive in the spirit, which is dangerous in itself to touch a man or woman of God. I always say God can judge his own servants. You don't have a servant. God is the judge of those he puts in the field. We just have to make sure we work our lane. Let's get into today's word. Listen, you cannot receive from what you dishonor. That is kingdom principle. So many people's eyes are shut spiritually because they've dishonored men and women of God for what they couldn't perceive or couldn't understand. They condemned. And the Bible tells us that, these people, they are so quick to condemn what they don't understand. And Jesus said this very thing. He said, if I can tell you earthly things and you can barely perceive them, how in the world can I tell you heavenly things? And this is the problem with Christianity and so many people with a religious mindset. It keeps them from going into the deeper things of God. Let me tell you about prophets. Prophets are able to go into the deep waters. There are things that God will show that many people cannot perceive or understand before they start judging it, and before you know it, they're calling you a witch or a warlock because they have not the capacity to understand these things. So I just want to tell you to be careful, because we all operate in different giftings. If you don't understand something, better to be quiet, because if you even condemn a man or woman of God in your heart, it'll shut you off to the revelation that they hold.